All right, so the next character on the list at number 3 is Monkey Kahn, aka Kahn. Now, this was a character that got introduced basically around, I would say, the 20th issues, 30th issues, who took Sally, as his own because he wasn't, basically convinced or knowledgeable about, hey, you can't just force somebody to be with you kind of deal. And, thankfully he would come to this understanding, as ruler of a kingdom of the Iron Dominion or whatever basically the Iron Dominion kingdom and all that. He'd become more of an understanding of this. And he would make very few appearances, here and there. He'd come back here and there. But it wasn't until basically issue 2001, the start of the Iron Dominion arc, that we would see the return of Monkey Kahn, a.k.a. Kahn. Basically, Ken was the name that not Ken, but Ian Flynn had given him, I guess, to make him more relatable. And what was interesting is, though, at first, it didn't seem like anything would happen. But as we got towards issue 207, that's when things started to get a little bit more intriguing. Ken Kahn, Monkey Kahn, would spend time with Sally, just talking and everything. And suddenly the talks ended up turning this new friendship they were having, or they had developed in the past, but they were now developing more so into something more. And thus, at the end of 207, it became established that they had become an item. But here's the thing, like I said before, the Monkey Kahn, Ken Kahn, Sally relationship was more along the lines of what you would see in those Saved by the Bell movies back in the 90s, like Hawaiian Style and stuff. Like in Hawaiian Style, like I said, there was this love interest for Zach Morris that had a child. She was a bit older, but they were very fond of each other, and they had fallen for each other. But after the movie was over, we never saw her again. Even though it was hinted at that Zach, after graduating, would come back to her, we never saw her again. And then in the Saved by the Bell summer job episodes that they did, where the kids had a job on a summer beach at a resort, Zach fell for his boss's daughter, and she fell for him. But after that, we never saw her again. And they even introduced another character to kind of replace the Kelly and Jesse characters when Elizabeth and Tiffany were gone. And, even though she fell for Zach and vice versa, again, temporary, after that character was removed, we never heard from her again. These were all temporary relationships that they could have gone down more with, in certain directions, or continued the stories for, if you will. But they never did. They just did them for one-and-done situations, in these episodes or the movie, and that was it. And as I've mentioned before, the way that relates to Sally and Monkey Kahn, Ken Kahn's relationship, is very similar. Because all the relationship was building up to basically the official get-togetherness at 207. All it was being done. Excuse me, hold on for a sec. All it was being done as a temporary relationship for the story arc. It was a one and done deal that they were doing for the story arc. They weren't dragging it on like they tried to do with Jeffrey St. John. It was a one and done deal. Yeah, they would hint back at it, once in a while. Like when Sally needed advice about her date with Sonic, she went across the world via warp ring portal, to see if Monkey Kahn, Ken Kahn can give her some advice, as well as check up on things. But that was it. Nothing more. Did they both share a kiss? Oh yeah, they shared a kiss. There's no doubt they shared a kiss. But the thing is, like I said, the way it relates to those relationships that you would see in shows like the original Saved by the Bell with the Hawaiian Style movie, the summer job episodes, and even that episode with that one character that showed up to kind of fill in for Jesse and Tiffany's characters, if you will. Well, not Jesse, but Elizabeth Berkley and Tiffany's characters, Jesse and Kelly. They were all run and done relationships that were just done for the story arcs, well, for those episodes. And that was it. We never heard anything from them. But here's the thing. Monkey Kahn was more accepted by the fans. Not as much, but not as much. Well, let me put it this way: he was more accepting a little bit. Not hold on for a sec. What I'm trying to say here is Monkey Khan was more accepted and tolerated, I should say, than Jeffrey was by the fans. And this was all due to the fact that Sonic, in story, was tolerable about Monkey Khan's relationship with Sally. Because I think Sonic being like our eyes, if you will, being the main character, because of course the comic's named after him, kind of knew it was just a temporary deal. He knew it. He knew it. And at the end of the arc, the entire arc, what happened? Who ended up back together? Or at least beginning the building blocks to that happening again? Sally and Sonic. And that was it. Because the relationship was a temporary deal. It was a temporary one and done deal. Now, in story, did it do a lot of good, if you will? In the story, did it do what it was supposed to do? And that's help Sally realize, what she had with Sonic, no matter, what the situation, that what she had with Sonic was something that was special, and that the reason they were together, that was because they were very tolerable and everything with each other? Absolutely. I mean, she's mentioned to Jeffrey, she's mentioned to Monkey Khan. She said it to Jeffrey when she first met him, but she also mentioned it to Monkey Khan, Ken Khan, after his return in the Iron Dominion arc, and even after kind of the relationship was being established, short term, one and done deal, if you will. That he had very similar characteristics to Sonic, which again in story opened up her eyes and made her realize, oh, this is why I fell for Sonic. This is why I ended up with him, because he might be a little brash and a little hurriness, if you will, but it's what made her fall for him. I mean, heck, her mom tells her the damn same thing, in 222. She does. But yeah, his purpose as a love interest for Sally was a one and done deal. And yes, it did serve its main purpose as well in story was to make her realize what she had with Sonic and at least attempt to rekindle it once more. And this time do it correctly, do it in a way to where even if there was issues, there were problems, they'd be able to work it out in a very understanding, like, okay, this is how you are, I get it, so let me see if we can do it this way, kind of deal. But yeah, Monkey Khan was more accepted and more tolerated as another love interest outside of Sonic than Jeffrey was. So he had that going for him. And who knows what would have happened with his character, had the comic continued, but we'll see. So on to our next one. And our next one, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, is one that surprised us all when it was revealed officially by Ian of how blatant they were able to get away with it. But it's something that was also teased in the pre-reboot portion of the book, but more so really implemented and implied in the soft reboot.